Hello everyone, here's Jack, and today I want to show you my After Effects project setup, how I organize my files so you can easily share them with other motion designers, to not get lost in your project file basically, how to keep it clean and organized. So before I start the video, I want to let you know I have this folder structure that I will explain in the video fully. I will have it as a download below so you can use it as your default template. So to get started, before even jumping into After Effects, I will jump into the folder structure, and I will also show an example with a real project that I've done in the past. But first I want to just show you the default setup. So I have a folder here which is called year animation project name. So basically where it says year, I would write down the year, so 2025 for example, then animagic project name, then I would write maybe the client name, and then underscore logo animation for example. And yeah, this is the main folder where I dump all my stuff inside. And here you see two folders and one After Effects project file. So here I would write also the same thing, 2025, logo animation, client, blah blah blah. And then we have two new folders here. So an output folder, I would place there later my final render of my animation inside this folder, so I can easily find stuff here. Maybe also your animation After Effects project file has more than one video as an output, so I can just dump them all inside, and even after 1 year or whatever, I easily can find them here. And I understand because of my setup they belong to this After Effects project, and this is a nice way to keep it clean. Then if we go also here, we have a material folder. So when you sometimes animate stuff in After Effects, you mostly need assets filed from clients, or you get them yourself, or you create them yourself. So basically I drop them inside here. So if I click into material, I see many folders, and they don't have any subfolder anymore. So basically here I drop all my assets that I've needed for my animation, or I've received from my animation here. So let's go them one by one. So we have here 3D. So as you can see, you just drop here 3D assets, 3D animation, maybe 3D PNG sequence. I just place them here, so later on I can find them easily. For example, I would get 5, 6 3D animation. I would also maybe just name them and call them according to the animation, maybe logo 1 and then logo 2 and so on, to just keep it organized, and then dump in my 3D assets inside, so I have an easy setup here. Then audio, maybe you create an animation video with audio files, maybe the voice or the background music, or you receive stuff, I just dump them here. Client files are stuff that I can categorize in the other stuff. Sometimes they send you storyboards, PDF, or just Word or Excel files. So mostly I place them here because it's let's say not often happening. I just try to just keep them together and dump them as client files here. Images, for example, when I create maybe in Photoshop assets for my animation or an Illustrator, I dump them here and export them here, so I can just easily grab them for After Effects. Here underscore stock, mostly I place here templates or stock images, basically everything which is pre-made or downloaded from the internet, or I got somewhere from a stock web page. I put them here so I know these are let's say licensed stuff. So yeah, I have an overview later. Okay, these still need to get licensed, and I just dump them here. And videos, self-explanation. No, here it says sorry. So the last thing is here, videos. So here I just dump in all the videos. Maybe sometimes I receive already footages from my client, or I used like, or I created them myself. I dumped them here so I can easily find them. So yeah, this basically explains my folder setup. So now let's jump to After Effects, So basically here everything is empty, and I can see like here I have like just 3 folders, master comp, sub pre-comp, and assets. Inside my assets I have other subfolders, but I will get to it later. So master comp I create here, for example, master project. I also name them the same setup like here, like 2025 animation project name. Then I create like the right comp. Then for example here you have like your animation. I always name them correctly, like BG for background or white background even. Then for example we have here a logo. I now place as a demo like this red circle in the middle, and I just align it quick. So let's say this is the logo, and mostly with the logo there's always a text happening. So I write logo text. So just to let you know, this left tool is Motion Tools. It's a free plugin. I've done on my YouTube channel like a free plugin video. So if you want to know further this, just check it out. Basically it just aligns my anchored points, and yeah, that's it. So coming back to our video, so here for example I have my logo connection with text and keep things organized. So for example here I would pre-comment and say logo plus text, and now you see After Effects created this pre-comp here, but instead of leaving it here in the master comp, I usually just dump it here in the sub pre-comps, because here this is like basically the mother animation where like everything is inside, and here in sub pre-comp I just dump in the comps that I create while inside my mother comp. So this is an easy setup to just keep it clean. And I also try to color code them. For example, the backgrounds or solid layers can always be like purple, for example, and the logo text animation or pre-comps can be like yellow, so I can easily distinguish them in the timeline. And also I like to always like trim the layers like this according to when the animation starts. So for example, the logo should be revealed here, and I have like an opacity animation, like really basic now, but it fades in. Instead of leaving the layer like this and not seeing where the animation starts, I usually also just trim it here. So when I just see my timeline like this, I can understand, okay, here the animation starts. So this is pretty a simple way to just keep clean of your After Effects project window. So yeah, sub pre-comps I already explained. So here I dump in all my sub pre-comps that I create here in my mother folder. Then we can also see After Effects created like a solid. It's this white solid background, and I usually just try to keep the solid here because After Effects tries to recreate always the subfolder solid inside, so I usually just keep it here, or else I would have also put it in the assets file, but that's just how the program works. Then just under assets, I also have many files. I will go one by one. So 00 pre-renders. Here I would put pre-renders. For example, I made this logo animation here, and if it's really intense and like loads really hardcore, or and makes my After Effects comp really slow, I just solo it basically, or I can create a proxy and render it out and just replace it here. So I can easily just dump then this render in this pre-render folder, and I understand later, okay, these are pre-rendered, and then I can just replace it. Videos is where I place all the video files from my asset folder. Images I place also the same. like logos, stock image or whatever. Then audio, the voiceover and background music, 3D files, as you can tell, like 3D assets that I receive. Then this is something special, AE files. Here I mostly dump like the files that I can't distinguish into my other folders here. Maybe it's like PDFs or special formats or whatever. I usually put them here. Like it's the, let's say, the leftover folder where I can't distinguish anything of the others, so I just drop it here. Then After Effects imports, here I just dump in my assets which I download from template pages or stocks, or like stuff that I received from my other motion design colleagues. When you work like on an animation project with others, you most likely receive an After Effects project file to maybe include into your mother comp. So to just understand, okay, these are important comp, I place them here. 07 references. Here I just place like references from like storyboards, or I made like an Illustrator or something, like reference where the logo should place. I just place them here, and I don't put them here under image, because image are like the final images that I want to use in reference. I just reference things that I want to use, and basically later I can just delete the whole folder and all my reference are gone from the comp, and I can have a clean animation. And 08 missing file. So here I sometimes, when I receive like After Effects projects, some assets are missing because maybe the client didn't send the full project folder, or the stuff is still uploading because they're so big. So I just place them here. But to be honest, I rarely use this folder. Basically, I rarely use these two After Effects files and missing, because they're so rarely used, but I still like to include them. So for example, here I made a logo animation for a film festival, and I put them like here. I named it here. I don't wrote 2025, but it would be actually better. But basically what's important, it shows like the project and the client, like the Bierbacher Film Festival. So yeah, it's all there. And it also has an output folder. So as you can see here, it's my finished rendered project. And even after a year, I can still navigate here. So it's pretty easy. Then you also see After Effects and some other Premiere Pro files created like autosave folder. These are created automatically if you create or enable like autosave in After Effects. And yeah, I just leave to keep them. So maybe you make revisions of your projects, then you can just easily just return back. And here is my After Effects project window. Here I have like a logo that I received and edited. I keep it also here in my head main root folder, let's say, of the folder, to just have it here, and also like sound design for my logo. Then if I go to material, you can see in this case I ditched my fully setup here because it was so less. So in some cases, the project won't be so big, so you can just dump it into just material folder to just jump straight to After Effects. But most cases I suggest you to do the folder structure. So for example, here this is a video file. I would put it into video in my main, like inside this. And these are like logos, so I will just put them into images, or I would name a logo folder, for example. But in this case, I can also just place them like this. So, like I said, it's not like the ultimate rule to do it, but more like, a guideline. So yeah, let's see the After Effects project. Okay, so the project loaded, and as you can see, I have the same setup as I shown you before. So here we have our master comp where my logo animation is. So if I click here, it's like the main comp where my animation happens. So here I can see also a sub comp here. And if we keep in mind the structure of before, it should be here in sub pre-comp. And as you can see, beaver plus text, it's the same here. So if I click further inside, I see like here's some masking happening and here's the main animation. And as you can already tell, it has like a lot of color coding, and it's always also trimmed according to when the animation starts. So for example, I can directly grasp the purple colors here are all like this beaver upper line text, and they all start like here in this timeline. So because I trimmed it correctly, and I can tell, okay, these are all beaver, the topper text. These are like here the wave animation that's happening when the logo is revealed. And I made it twice. For example, this is the first wave according with the mask. This is the second one. And we can see like here 2 waves are happening, one reveal and one inside. Then, for example, here this blue shapes, like I see here like some sparkle is happening. So I understand, for example, here these are also like some particle effects or something according to just the color and the naming. And if I just scroll down, I can easily understand it's like here the water drops from the beaver. And even without even putting the timeline here, I understand here these are also some particle effects. And yeah, we can see it's like these water drops happening when the beaver jumps out. So yeah, this is a great indicator like how to set up, and even without opening this project for 1 year, I could easily navigate through it. So if I check further my assets folder, these are all pretty empty because it wasn't a big project. But here we have like here in this one, Flash FX pack. These are basically the particle effects that are used for this project. Like here the water drops, and here I can just open it, and some other motion designers set it up. So I don't bother with their setup, but I just want to let myself know, okay, these are imported, and I can find like the combs and shapes here to just easily use them for my purpose. And then because I also use like solids, they are all dropped here, and also nulls. You can use also Void. It's a plugin for free to get rid of nulls and the solid to don't get like the solid layer. But I tend to use After Effects more like in a default state to easily, yeah, to just keep it as much as normal as possible. So this is basically the setup. I hope you enjoyed this small video how to organize project. Mostly this kind of videos are not shown or explained by others, but I think if you want to advance like from a beginner motion designer to more like intermediate or like a pro, it's crucial to know like how to set up your projects, to easily share with your colleagues, to easily navigate, and to work more efficient. Like for example, I needed now to do like an English version. So this is a German version of the logo. I can now just duplicate it and change it to EN. And maybe I need to duplicate this layer. I can just easily navigate here to my pre-comp. It's really a powerful way to work more like faster. And then when I render, for example, these two out, I already know the place. I just place them here in output, and I would put like DE and EN here, and it's really nice and easy to use. Also, a way to start directly, you can always use my default folder that I showed you before, where everything is empty, to directly load up your After Effects project, so you don't start always with 0, which is important. And you can also set up an After Effects file like to auto start with a project window, where you can just set up my window project file to just start direct with these folders. In my case here, I just use the plugin that I also introduced from in my paid video plugin. It's on my channel, and you can just check it out also. But either way, this is just nice to have. Like, there are many ways to just have your default folder set up. You can just open mine and save it as your default. So just feel free what works best for you, and see you soon. Bye bye. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it a lot. If you feel like you want to have future content like this on your feed, feel free to just hit the subscribe button below, or you have like suggestions for future videos, write them below. Happy animating. Bye.